Welcome back to the reality, guys. I'm your host, Billy Blinks, joined as always by my co-host, Brian.
Hello, everybody.
We're back to talk one of our favorite shows. This is Amazing Race. This is season 36, episode 9. My precious Coco, or Cocal. I'm gonna butcher that, guys, throughout. So everyone, just get ready for it. Thanks for watching. Make sure you're liked and subscribed here on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, all at the Reality Guys. We cover everything and anything reality TV. Okay, Brian, this leg was in the Dominican Republic. So this is the penultimate leg. Also, next week is our finale. So the season that had supposedly had all these travel issues and behind the scenes problems, which made it be this kind of, I guess, whatever they kind of called it, a truncated season. Frankly, hasn't been too bad in my opinion.
You mean travel wise?
No, just the season in general. This is not the worst season we've reviewed.
Yeah, I don't think it's like that bad. I mean, I guess people could complain about the outcomes, but I mean, it's not terrible.
I don't mind the fact that they again. I would be totally fine if they did some regionalized ones that was all in one country and they were doing it in cities and different things like that. I wouldn't mind that, like an American one, an English one where they stayed in the country. Like, sure, it cost a crap ton less and you probably turn it around kind of fast, right? It's kind of how like Road Rules was in a respect outside of
Yeah,
not being a
like I
race.
get what you're saying. Like actually, like they're like so they're all in bordering countries, and like they're just like Phil could be like, "Hey, we're starting here, and like the ending is here, and you got to make your way down there." Like that would be actually kind of cool.
Yeah, it'd be like you don't have to tell them where you're stopping in between, or you don't have to tell them where it's going to end. But even just again, contained within one country, I think the costs would be a lot less. It's just tough. I think something with the Amazing Race, which I always like, and me and you complain about, is when they don't have enough cultural things about a
Yeah.
country. But it's also tough to encapsulate a country in a few basically mini games, right? We kind of use the Mario Party references for fun, but I would like to see more sustained time spent in a country. If you did a United States one, you could have them be in the South for a few episodes, get them to the Midwest, get them out in the Northeast, hustle and bustle, right? There's so many different things you really would by the end of it be like, oh, that's like a good taste of America, right? And you could do 10, 20 seasons in the US and repeat some cities, but never really probably repeat anything, right? So sometimes when they give us these kind of half-ass ones, like we had a couple weeks ago when they're like in a dock, it's like, oh, every country has a dock, like has shipping. Like it's kind of BS. And I think overall this season they've done a pretty good job with it. But watching some of these smaller legs have made me think like, damn, like we could just do one in one country.
I would be pretty annoyed if I applied for the show and my country was USA. I
It
would
was
be
New Jersey,
yeah, I'd be super annoyed at that.
the
Like
Amazing Race, New Jersey.
like I think I would extend it to like 5 or 6 countries that are right on top
That's
of each
cool.
other.
Yeah,
Not I don't think one because like how many
all
things can you do?
drivable. Say like you said,
Yeah.
like Canada, Mexico, U.S.
Yeah, I guess I could get behind it. I could get behind it, but if they're really diving into cool things, then I can really if they're gonna do stupid shit like I mean, I love the baseball challenge today, like just because of like where the person involved in it. But
New
like
Bartolo clone.
yeah, like I thought that was like I never I watching the show today, I never thought I would hear his name today.
Big sexy.
Yeah. Yeah, just a huge dude. And but if they're like, oh, we're gonna go play baseball in America, I'd be like, all right, this is kind of lame. Like, do something local to the area. Like, I think that would be really cool. But yeah, I'll never do it, but it's okay.
We start the leg off with them having to run through the jungle. They're split into two groups. Roadblock they run through goes, who can see the writing on the wall? We refer to these when we do our reviews as the needle in the haystack challenges. There's always some kind of big memory matching game each season. We always kind of refer back to the Coliseum one. That's our kind of most famous one for us.
The
This
coin one.
one was relatively straightforward in the rules. You had to find the 10 stones that were out in the canyon. You had to swim around a little bit and walk around. And then you had to have the correct matching stones on your kind of little board. The stones were two-sided. They were the same picture with slight iteration. So basically, you had to see what the difference was on each side and then kind of go look for those specific things. It took a few of them a few runs to even figure that out. Really, again, no surprise though. It's Ceasar who figures it out quicker than anyone else. It only takes them 3 attempts. We saw things like Melissa with 8 attempts, Juan with 5 attempts. So again, I thought this was a pretty fair but fun needle in the haystack challenge. What did you think?
I agree. I thought it was actually difficult. I thought it was a difficult one because you had to like look around, and if you like were going down, like you missed something, and it's like the lighting on all the where the stones were wasn't the greatest, and the details. I mean, it's tough. Like, if can you imagine if like, hey, I didn't like I have the wrong contacts in today or something
Yep.
like where you know what I mean? Like, I could see like how it could be tough. Like, but it looked cool. I mean, I'm not mad at these. I love the ones where it's like the equalizer, where it's like anyone kind of levels the playing field a little bit.
There was a lot of physicality to it. Like you said, the color blending was definitely not easy. So I can agree that this was not difficult, but I do again believe it was fair. I think for
Yeah,
especially at this point in the race, I
yeah,
don't
I
need
agree.
them to have easy roadblocks. I want it to be difficult.
Right.
We said that this would be our first Mario Party reference. This reminds us of Memory Match, which is an OG Mario Party 1 game where you are batching symbols on flip stones. That's pretty straightforward as you can get there. As I mentioned, Ceasar gets it on the third attempt. He actually, on his way out, offers help to Melissa. Doesn't really help her out very much, though, because it still took her 8 attempts.
Yeah, yeah.
It's tough.
I think she almost had it too. She had one off, and
Missed
she
the
the flip,
swirl,
and then she just
the
flipped the wrong one.
Dreamcast symbol.
Yeah, she flipped the wrong one.
Um, it's funny because you think of Dreamcast, this reminded me of a Sonic Adventure level. They run around the jungle. It literally looked like it. Uh, the route info brought them to the Don Manuel Finca de Cacao. This was you get driven there by a farmer, which I thought was pretty funny. The route info was to process the cocoa seeds, basically. So you had a tool and a basket, and you had to go up and cut them out of the tree. You then had to crack open the seeds and basically smear the seeds over a big, you would just say like your screen. It was kind of like a leaf kind of covered plate, and you had to cover the entire surface with the innards of the cocoa, which also got us another Mario Party reference, Coconut Conk, a classic one from Mario Party 3, 1 versus 3, where you're on top of the coconut tree and 3 of you do butt pounds to try to hit the guy on the bottom with coconut. Again, I think pretty close. Coconut, cacao sounds like a fake word to me.
I really this is probably my favorite challenge of the day. It's to
Yeah.
me most cultural. Looked really cool. I loved Rod like skying for jump. Just said, "Screw the tool. I'm gonna jump up and get it." Like it's like a 50-50 ball in football.
Vinny did it too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And I mean, it made up. I thought it made up some time for him, like doing
I
that.
did too. And this is the first time I thought Vinny like was actually, I mean, he's always kind of a tool to me, but I thought he played his aggressiveness actually helped this week.
With the climbing.
Yeah. The climbing, frankly. They were in a foot race for that last place. So
Yeah, that's true.
I think it
I
was
mean,
worth it.
he was a little stubborn about not going to another tree. He's like, I want to like the climb. It just
This
it's
is
all a big
my
mess.
tree, the wishing tree.
It's all a big mess.
The next roadblock was the route info brought you to the Estadio Bartolo Colon. Obviously, Bartolo Colon, if you are a baseball fan recently, you would have known Bartolo Colon, big sexy, played for a while, big pitcher, could hit home runs,
He
played
played for
forever.
forever, man. It felt like
He played forever.
played for so long. Good for
The
him.
roadblock is who wants to play ball. You had to complete 3 baseball tasks. You had to take a grounder at second and throw it to first. You had to take a pop fly in center, and then you had to play stick ball with a bottle cap and hit it 25 feet. Probably the hardest one, obviously, is the stick ball one. But if you just made contact, basically, it was probably going to go pretty far. I don't think 25 feet sounds harder than it is.
I
I
agree.
think.
I think because like I think when Rod hit his, he hit it on like the end, like not even high up on the bat. It was like close to like his hands, and he still skied it.
Yeah, for sure. Rod's also a monster.
I
It
just
was
lost it.
funny.
Yeah, that he didn't do well. Like he was
Yeah,
the worst
that he
one.
was
I really enjoyed it.
failing balls at first.
Yeah, I think he's just too athletic. Honestly, like I think he probably was only putting like 70% on it, and I'm sure it was just too much. Like if you need to put like 25 on for him because he's got guns, dude.
It's too funny.
Yeah.
Um, this, like I said, we get the Bartolo cameo. I thought that
He
was
looks good, man.
great.
He looks like he lost some weight. He looks a lot like
Yeah,
home.
yeah, yeah, for sure.
I wish he was wearing a uniform. That would actually
Me
really
too.
sick.
Me too. But I do like that they had him.
Yeah, no,
Uh,
salute to that.
we had a few cab drivers get lost heading to the next section, which was the Paso de Dona Blanca. It was like the pink hallway, like you were living in a Barbie world or something.
Yeah.
Ron and Letitia's cab drivers get lost. Amber and Vinny's cab drivers get lost. Amber gets mad. What was her point that I guess they should have asked for directions sooner or something?
Well, yeah, because like it's kind of weird that too. I thought first at first when I was watching it really quickly, I thought it was the same cab driver like that. Rod
Yeah,
like
yeah.
just ditched them. But like, how do these guys like they just are just like, oh, which way is it? Like,
Seems like a setup almost. Like
yeah,
they told
yes,
them to be aloof.
yeah, that's what I agree. Because like both of them did the exact same thing, like which way? And I just was like, come on, man, this is the fix
I
is
agree.
in, man. The fix is in.
I agree. The after the pink hallway, you had to go to the pit stop. It was the Amphitheater de Puerto Plata. No surprise here, Brian. Ricky and Caesar won again. This is their sixth win of the season and 3 seconds. So out of all, they haven't literally been lower than second place the entire season.
If they don't win, would you call it a disappointment?
Yeah, it's their race to lose. And Phil did make the point, which is tough, is that like it really at this point now is only going to take them not even doing bad, but just not being the fastest at a challenge. And again, it just seems like they're so stuck together, all these teams, that
Yeah.
it's we'll see. We'll see.
And the preview even like I think it's Amber goes like, oh, they are human. So they definitely something happens in the next like
Do you see the finale is in Philadelphia?
yeah, and you know what I'm wondering is like next they're in beaches and next it's like maybe this is part of the charter problem where it's like they're gonna just teleport to the
Yeah, I
end.
wonder where
Seems
they if
weird.
it's like something they do something in still South America and then fly to Philly, or if it's like Miami and Philly or
Yeah,
something
it's
like
just
that.
weird that it's like that. Because they're like you see the fanatic like jumping on the
And Swoop,
and then
yeah, the
yeah, and then
Eagles
they're like
mascot, and I'm
yeah,
like,
and they're
what
like
the?
then they're parasailing. It's just like seems
Also,
really
like,
stupid.
why didn't anyone tell us? We are literally in
I
like
think we knew it
We
was in
are
Philly.
in Philadelphia. Like,
I think we knew it was in Philly though.
I will. We could have been. We should have been invited.
Oh well, of course.
We could have cheered.
Oh, of course about
Woo!
that. I mean,
Could have been at the cheesesteak
Phil
places
has
that
my
they're
phone number.
inevitably going to end up at, like Pat's and Geno's and like the Rocky Steps.
Yeah, Phil has my phone number, so that's what's up.
Yeah, text us, bub.
You want to read?
Yeah, bro. I do the order of finish.
All right, like you said, first place Ricky and Caesar. Second place with the jump up, Rod and Letitia. Third place Juan and Shane. Fourth place Amber and Vinny, and fifth place Yvonne and Melissa. I like the little update on them though. Looks like they, even though they didn't win, they moved in together, have a kid.
That is great.
Yeah, so
No,
it's good for them.
really, shout out to
I
you
like
guys.
them. I did like them.
They ran a good race. I thought they ran a good race. It's just you're at the end here, and it's these.
Yeah.
We said these are not. There is no travel involved in these legs. They're very short, and so a couple of mistakes, like they had mentioned earlier, when they were behind. They were only 10 minutes behind, but 10 minutes could kill you in this specific iteration of the race. Uh, Overall, Brian, what are we going to say? Do we think that Ricky and Caesar hold true? I'm rooting for them to win. I mean, they obviously deserve it, but do we
They
think
definitely
that
deserve it.
the odds are not with them?
I just honestly, man, I really like all the team. Honestly, if as long as it's not not that I don't like
I don't
Am,
think, yeah, they're probably the
there
lowest for
any
me
of
too.
the other three teams winning though, I've really, I mean, Brian and Letitia are like my favorite team after the grand. Like they were like neck and neck with the grandparents for me, but that's who I want to win the most. But honestly, if like Juan Shane won, I wouldn't be mad at all. Like Ricky C, I wouldn't be mad at all. Like it's not like these teams are undeserving to me. Like I know everyone's like is upset Walla Walla's out, but like once they left, I would have been pissed if Walla Walla won the show, honestly.
Yeah, no, it would have caused debate for sure. It would have been
No,
interesting.
I'm not mad at these teams. I think they've all done consistently pretty well.
No, I would love to see Ricky and Caesar finish this off.
They still
I
have
again, I agree with you. I like all the teams really. I think Juan and Shane really have a shot as
yeah,
well. Rod and Letitia are a strong team. I mean, all the teams are strong. I wouldn't be shocked to see any team
yeah.
win next week.
Mm-hmm.
So that's for not for anything less than that. It's going to be exciting. So
Yeah, no, it's fun. I mean, it's good. It's honestly it's nice to like not care who doesn't win. Like I feel like we're
yeah, to
watching
not be like
Survivor. I'm like,
rooting actively against
Yeah,
people.
Survivor, I'm actively rooting against people, but like here, I'm not. Like it's nice.
It is a more peaceful show for us
Mm.
to enjoy on a Wednesday
Way more
evening.
likable people.
Uh, yeah. So we cover everything on CBS Wednesdays. Like we mentioned, we are doing Survivor 46. We have 2 more weeks, we believe, of Survivor. Next week, and then probably a 3-hour finale. We cover shows like Bravo shows, Netflix shows, anything you think of, we're probably covering it. So just check out all of our playlists, check out our social media, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, all at The Reality Guys. You can find all of our stuff. I promise there's something else that we cover that you like. But for myself and Brian, thank you so much for watching. Peace.